All right, so the Kolkata Knight Riders have announced that Dinesh Karthik will be their new captain for IPL 2018. Robin Uthappa will be the vice captain. To talk about that and much more, we have with us the CEO of KKR, Mr. Venki Mysore. Mr. Mysore, thanks so much for joining us. First up, congratulations on a new team and the announcement of a new captain for the squad. What's your take on DK and what he brings to the table as captain?
See, first and foremost, yes, thank you for that big day for us also, and for DK and for the franchise in general. See, when we went into the auction, part of our thinking was to work on the principle of continuity and change. And so if you look at our squad, we have at least 5-6 players who've been with us for a long time, and we have some new players who've come in because we just felt there were certain types of skills and certain gaps that we needed to fill. So even from a leadership standpoint, one of the things that we have now accomplished with this is by bringing in DK, there's a different perspective, a little change to the mindset, if you will. Not that there was anything wrong with it in the past, but it's a new direction. But at the same time, as you know, we have also announced that Robin Uthappa would be our vice captain. So that Robin represents continuity and DK represents change. As far as DK is concerned, he's been an outstanding professional who's played so much cricket. He made his debut several years ago, and he's played all seasons of IPL, and so loads and loads of experience. Has performed. Both Robin and DK are among the top 10 performers as batsmen in terms of runs scored and everything else. So there's a lot of experience there between the two of them. So we just felt that this would be a nice combination from a franchise perspective.
Right, now one thing that most KKR fans are curious about is why Gautam Gambhir was not retained by KKR. Now, I remember talking to you in 2011 when you had taken over as CEO of the team, and Sourav Ganguly at that time was replaced as captain with Gautam. Now, despite Gautam taking you to 2 titles, he wasn't retained. A number of fans are wondering why. If you could tell us a little about the philosophy of the team of KKR now as far as IPL is concerned going forward.
No, you're absolutely right. I think, first and foremost, I must not only thank but acknowledge the brilliant job that Gautam has done for the franchise and the success that we have had under his leadership since 2011. So 7 years is a fantastic phase. But I really think that as we were discussing our plans and the kind of role that we wanted him to play a little bit more as a senior cricketer, as a mentor type, but I think he had different ideas also, and he needed a different challenge and a different motivation. So he requested us to, for him to be allowed to move on to take up his new challenge. And while we would have actually liked for him to come in and play that role that we had in mind, but obviously I said, listen, KKR has never been ever in a position where we have stopped someone from pursuing their aspirations, and so we were happy to support him as he went in a different direction. So which meant that we had to look for a different type of a leader, and so that's what has led up to where we are today. But I think we are quite delighted with it. I think there's a lot of experience and success that comes with DK as a leader and Robin as his deputy.
Right. Now, Mr. Mysore, this is one thing that every KKR fan right now wants to know. What is the latest on Chris Lynn? The good news is that we've heard that he will not need surgery for his injured shoulder. But are you expecting him to be fit in time for the 2018 season? What have you heard?
I think, first of all, I think the news is much better than we initially thought. When he actually injured himself and we heard that first, we said, oh no, not again. But luckily, what has happened is that the prognosis is that it's not as bad as anyone thought, so he definitely doesn't need surgery. But also, the damage seems to be relatively minor. I would say, I don't know what minor means, but when you have a dislocation and it is put back in. So I think he's itching to get back onto the field. So he'll do everything within his powers, I'm sure, in terms of rehab. So I think the expectation is that he'll be ready to go for IPL. Fingers crossed. Let's wait and see how it all plays out.
Right, Mr. Mysore, thank you so much and all the best for IPL 2018. KKR fans all over, of course, would want to see the team clinch the title for the 3rd time. Thanks so much for talking to us.
Thank you, Akash. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that, and big thanks to all our fans and followers and supporters. And we'll look for you to make more noise at Eden Gardens and give us all your moral support so that the team can go ahead and pursue its goal that it has set for itself. Thanks again.